When you flirt with someone, do you actually know which level you're operating from? Because most people think flirting is either something you have or something you don't. Yes, some people seem naturally charming, but what most people miss is that flirting is a skill ladder. Each level gives you a different kind of power, and each level fixes a mistake from the one before it. At level 1, you're trying not to mess it up. By level 5, the other person feels seen, chosen, and emotionally safe enough to lean closer. And the final level is the one most people skip because it feels too simple to be powerful. We'll get to that at the end. Level 1 is learning not to panic. Have you ever started talking to someone attractive and suddenly forgotten how to be normal? This is level 1. At this stage, flirting feels like pressure. You're thinking about your face, your voice, your timing, your hands, your words, and whether they can tell you're nervous. You're not really with the other person yet. You're stuck watching yourself from the outside. That's not flirting. That's survival mode. The first thing to understand is that nervousness changes how you read the moment. When your body is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol, your attention narrows. You start scanning for danger instead of connection. A pause feels like rejection. A neutral expression feels like disinterest. A delayed reply feels like failure. So level 1 isn't about becoming smooth. It's about becoming regulated enough to stay present. The upgrade at this level is simple. Stop trying to impress and start trying to settle. Before you flirt, slow your breathing. Put your attention in your feet, your hands, your surroundings. Notice 3 details in the room. This tells your nervous system, I'm safe enough to connect. Then make the interaction smaller. You don't need a perfect opener. You need a calm first move. Say something situational. Ask something easy. Comment on what's already happening around you. This matters because panic makes you either overdo it or disappear. Some people talk too fast, make too many jokes, or push too hard. Others become stiff, overly polite, or completely silent. Both are the same problem wearing different clothes. The body is trying to escape embarrassment. So the practice for level 1 is not, be attractive. It's, stay in the moment for 10 more seconds than you normally would. Hold eye contact briefly, then release it. Ask one question, then actually listen to the answer. Let a pause exist without rushing to murder it. If you can do that, you've already advanced. You're no longer treating flirting like a performance you must survive. You're treating it like contact you can handle. And that's the doorway. Because once you're no longer panicking, you can finally begin noticing the other person. Level 2 is reading signals before making moves. Ever wonder why some people keep flirting with someone who clearly isn't interested, while others miss obvious interest sitting right in front of them? That's the level 2 problem. Once you're calm enough to stay present, your next job is to read the interaction accurately. Level 1 asks, can I handle this? Level 2 asks, what's actually happening between us? Here's what most people don't realize. Flirting fails when you only track your intention. You know you're being friendly, you know you're interested, you know you're trying, but the other person is experiencing your behavior, not your intention. This is why signal reading matters. In interpersonal communication research, attraction is often linked to reciprocity, body orientation, vocal warmth, facial animation, and response timing. Those are the clues that tell you whether the moment is opening, staying neutral, or closing. At this level, you start watching for green, yellow, and red signals. Green signals mean you can gently continue. They ask questions back. Their answers become longer. Their body turns toward you. They smile with the eyes, not just the mouth. They create small reasons for the conversation to keep going. Yellow signals mean slow down. They're polite but not adding much. They smile but don't invest. They answer but don't return energy. Red signals mean stop. They step back, scan the room, give clipped replies, avoid eye contact, or repeatedly try to exit. This is where you become safer and more attractive at the same time. You stop forcing moments that aren't there, and you stop abandoning moments that are. If you see green, you don't leap into intensity. You continue with warmth. If you see yellow, you reduce pressure and let them meet you halfway. If you see red, you respect it immediately. That kind of awareness is rare, and people feel it. The practical move is to flirt in small increments. Make one light comment. Watch. Ask one more personal question. Watch. Offer one playful compliment. Watch. You're not looking for one magical sign. You're looking for a pattern. One smile means little. A smile, a returned question, relaxed posture, and continued attention mean much more. Level 2 also fixes the pain of overthinking. Instead of replaying the whole interaction later, you learn to read it while it's happening. You don't need to wonder endlessly, did they like me? You can ask, were they investing back? That question gives you clarity without making you cold. At level 2, you're no longer guessing blindly. You're becoming responsive. And once you can read signals, you're ready for the next upgrade. Creating chemistry on purpose. Level 3 is adding playful tension. Does your flirting often turn into a pleasant conversation that never becomes anything more? This is level 3. You can stay calm now. You can read signals now. You can tell when someone is open to you. But the interaction still needs a spark. Without playful tension, you become easy to talk to, but hard to feel chemistry with. Here's something that might surprise you. Chemistry is not created by being agreeable all the time. It's created through a mix of warmth and edge. Behavioral scientists studying courtship behavior often describe flirting as a form of low-risk ambiguity, where two people test interest through teasing, humor, timing, and subtle challenge before anything is directly stated. That little bit of uncertainty is not a problem. It's part of what makes the moment feel alive. At level 3, you stop being only nice and start becoming playful. You don't insult, you don't dominate, you don't make the other person feel small. You create a light emotional bounce. If they tease you, you don't collapse into explaining yourself. You tease back gently. If they challenge your opinion, you don't instantly agree just to stay liked. You hold your ground with a smile. If the conversation becomes too predictable, you add a small twist. For example, if they say, "I don't know if I trust your taste in music," a level 2 person might defend themselves. A level 3 person smiles and says, "That's fair, trust should be earned slowly." If they say, "You seem confident," you don't shrink and say, "Not really." You can say, "Only in very controlled lighting." The point isn't the line, the point is the energy. You're showing that you can handle the moment without grabbing for approval. This is where many people get confused, because they think tension means being rude, mysterious, unavailable, or hard to read. It doesn't. Real playful tension still feels safe. The other person should feel more awake around you, not more anxious. If they laugh, lean in, tease back, or raise the energy, you're in the zone. If their smile tightens, their answers shrink, or they seem unsure whether you're joking, soften immediately. The practice at this level is contrast. Give warmth, then add play. Compliment, then don't over-explain. Disagree lightly, then stay curious. Let your smile carry a sentence. Let a pause do some of the work. Don't rush to prove that you're harmless. Let them feel that you're kind, but not desperate. Interested, but not needy. Open, but not shapeless. This level fixes the recurring problem of being seen as only friendly. Friendship energy says, "I'm safe." Flirting energy says, "I'm safe," and there's something happening here. That second part requires a little tension. Not pressure, not games. Just enough spark for the other person to feel that the conversation has a pulse. And once you can create that pulse, the next level asks for something braver: clarity. If this part made sense, comment, spark. Let's see who understands that chemistry isn't forced, it's built. Level 4 is making your interest clear. Have you ever had chemistry with someone, felt the moment building, and still walked away without letting them know you were interested? This is level 4. By now, you're calmer. You can read signals. You can create playful tension. But if you never make your interest clear, the other person is left inside a guessing game. And guessing games get tiring. Think about that for a second. A lot of people hide behind flirting because flirting lets them feel close without risking a direct answer. They joke. They linger. They compliment indirectly. They create moments that feel charged, then retreat the second the moment asks for honesty. This is often connected to attachment strategies like distancing, overthinking, or using humor to avoid vulnerability. It looks casual from the outside. Inside, it's fear trying to stay elegant. Level 4 is where you become brave enough to be understood. You don't confess everything. You don't overload the other person. You don't turn one good conversation into a dramatic declaration. You simply make your interest legible. That word matters. Legible means they can read you without needing a detective board. A level 3 flirt creates spark. A level 4 flirt gives the spark a direction. You hold eye contact 1 second longer. You give a compliment that lands on something personal. "I like how direct you are." You have a calming energy. "I like talking to you." You name the moment without making it heavy. "This is more fun than I expected." You ask for a next step without apologizing for wanting one. "I'd like to see you again. Are you free this week?" This level solves one of the biggest dating frustrations: mixed signals. Sometimes people complain that others don't know what they want, but they're also refusing to be clear themselves. They want the reward of being pursued without the vulnerability of being readable. That keeps both people trapped. Nobody knows whether to step forward or protect themselves. If this is where you freeze, pay attention to the exact moment you start hiding. It usually happens right after the other person responds well. Your brain says, "Don't ruin it." So you become vague. You make another joke. You change the subject. You convince yourself that waiting is safer. But waiting too long can turn attraction into confusion, and confusion eventually feels like disinterest. The practice is one clear signal per interaction, not 10. 1. If the conversation is going well, say one thing that cannot be mistaken for generic friendliness. If you're texting, don't bury the invitation under nervous filler. Say, "I'd like to take you out this week." If you're in person, don't hover forever, hoping the moment will solve itself. Give the moment a clean bridge. Clarity is not pressure when it comes with freedom. The difference is tone. Pressure says, "I need you to respond the way I want." Clarity says, "Here's where I am, and you're free to meet me there or not." That kind of honesty is attractive because it removes emotional fog. It lets the other person relax. They don't have to wonder whether you're flirting with everyone, playing a role, or just enjoying attention. At level 4, you stop hiding behind charm. You become direct enough to be trusted. And if this kind of guidance helps you build attraction without losing yourself, like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people who want dating to feel confident, respectful, and emotionally honest. You don't have to explain it. Just comment moment if you've ever felt chemistry building, then watched it fade because nobody made it clear. Level 5 is making them feel chosen. What changes when you stop trying to be impressive and start making someone feel chosen? This is the final level. And it's the one most people skip because it looks quiet from the outside. Level 5 is not bigger flirting. It's deeper attention. In social cognition, selective attention is powerful because people can feel when they're being personally distinguished instead of generally evaluated. You remember what they said earlier. You notice the detail nobody else caught. You respond to their actual personality, not just their attractiveness. That's the difference. Level 1 says, "Please like me." Level 2 says, "I can read you." Level 3 says, "I can create spark." Level 4 says, "I'm brave enough to be clear." Level 5 says, "I see you specifically." So practice making one precise observation, not a generic compliment, something real. You get animated when you talk about that. You act casual, but you're clearly thoughtful. I like that you notice small things. That kind of flirting lands because it doesn't feel copied. And for the right person, being truly seen is the moment attraction stops feeling like a game. Being good at flirting doesn't mean forcing chemistry. It means learning how to notice it, shape it, and let the other person feel where the moment is going. Because attraction usually shows up quietly first. A longer look, a warmer reply, a person staying in the conversation when they could have left. And once you understand the levels of flirting, the next thing to notice is whether people have already been responding to you in ways you didn't recognize. Because sometimes the problem isn't that you're unattractive. Sometimes you've just been missing the signs. The next video breaks down the signs you're attractive, but don't realize it, and the subtle reactions that reveal people are noticing you more than you think.